All right, so it is the beginning of the end for these type of videos because yes, Hu Tao and Yelan will be coming out very soon in under 4 to 3 days. Yes, they will be here, and you know the hype that surrounds them, everyone will finally be able to summon on them, and everybody will be able to play with them. So it's really nice to know that it's time for Hu Tao and Yelan to come out, and everyone can have their fun with them. So we're going to be talking about Hu Tao's dummy guide. And with this, we're going to be talking about her talents, her weapons, her artifacts, constellations, all that type of stuff in this video. We're going to be giving you a quick, easy, simple guide so that you're able to understand how to play Hu Tao and what makes Hu Tao as good as she is. So let's get straight into the talents. For our first talent, we're going to be talking about the normal attack. Now, this normal attack is important because this is where a good source of her DPS comes from. Her normal attack string, of course, with many characters, isn't really going to matter. So this is something you're going to be paying attention to. But what does matter is her charge attack. So her charge attack does come from her normal attack scaling or normal attack talents. So this is where the big bulk of her DPS comes from. This is mainly the base of her kit. So you are going to want to level it up just for this. That's pretty much it when it comes to the normal attack. Now let's talk about her skill. Now her skill is what makes Hu Tao pretty much. You are going to be taking a big hit in your health a little bit. So I'm at 15,000. I went down to 10,000. So you do take a big chunk from popping your talent, but it comes with pyro infusion, so your attacks will be pyro infused. Same with the charge attack. This is basically where her main DPS comes from, using her E and then using a charge attack. That's basically all that there is to it. And then once you lose that chunk of HP and you get the pyro infusion, you will gain attack equivalent to the max HP that you have by 5.66. So when you get this much HP is going to convert it to attack, and you're going to be doing massive damage. Now the blood blossom that you leave is after you charge attack an enemy, it leaves this little flower symbol on them, and then it'll explode after a while. So that's pretty much all there is to the E. And then for the ult, it is going to be a big ghost swiping across the screen, as you've seen in many nuking videos. It's going to hit for a big amount. There's people that have been using that ult as a nuking option. People hit for 1 million with Mona and stuff like that. So yeah, her ult is just as good as her base kit for her DPS. And also with her ult, she also gets some HP based on your ult. So it's really nice. If you hit a bunch of enemies, you go from 100 HP to maybe like 10,000. So yeah, her ult, her whole kit is absolutely amazing. You're going to be leveling it up all equivalently. Starting with her normal attack and skill first, because that's her big bulk of her kit. And then you're going to be moving on to the ult. After she's done with her E, when it ends, the crit rate of your party is going to be increased, but not Hu Tao. So if you have to switch off, do some support stuff, that's going to help a little bit. It lasts for 8 seconds. When Hu Tao is under 50%, she gets more damage, so you do want to keep her under 50%. This is why it's good to have her with a shielder, but we'll be talking about that in the team section. And then you don't want to cook with her because she's bad at cooking. So let's go on to Hu Tao's weapons. Of course, the famous Staff of Homa that will be coming back with the amazing weapon banner that will be coming during this patch is going to be back, and she of course needs this as her signature weapon. Base attack of 532, crit damage of 60.3, and the passive is everything Hu Tao could have ever wanted. HP increased by 20%, and then provides an attack bonus based on 0.8% of the wielder's max HP. And then when you're under 50% HP, the attack bonus is increased by 1%. So yeah, you're gonna want to definitely stay under 50% if you have Hu Tao, because not only do you get the 33% damage pyro bonus, but you also get an attack bonus from the Staff of Homa itself. So yeah, Staff of Homa, absolutely amazing. It also increases HP, so that funnels into Hu Tao's attack increase. So yeah, that is absolutely amazing. Now, are there any other options that you can use? Primordial Jade Wing Spear is an option. The Staff of Scarlet Sands is alright, not really something that you could really want to run on them, but Primordial Jade Wing Spear is pretty nice. Other pole arms, the death match is really nice. This passive can proc almost any time because you're most of the time going to be fighting against more than 2 enemies. But if maybe in cases where there's a boss, you're going to end up having that attack increase by 48% if you have an R5 version. So yeah, it's going to help Hu Tao quite a bit. Other weapons that you can use for Hu Tao, the Lithic Spear can work if you're going to be using a whole leeway team, which a lot of the leeway characters are really nice. So this is a possibility. Not her best spear though. The Black Cliff Pole also works. So if you want that crit damage still, this is another option. And then the Dragon's Bane is probably the best out of the 4-star weapons for her, just because it has elemental mastery, and that's really needed for Hu Tao so that she's able to vaporize, for the most of her teams. That's the reaction you want to go for. So yeah, Elemental Mastery helps a lot. And then of course it says increases damage against opponents affected by Hydro or Pyro, which if you're playing Hu Tao on her best teams, then that's pretty much going to always be active. So other than that, that's pretty much it for her weapons. Let's go on to our artifacts. And of course, behind me is the Crimson Witch of Flames domain, and this is where you can spend the rest of your life grinding out Hu Tao's artifacts, because it definitely took me a long time. But yes, you are going to want to be running Crimson Witch of Flames because it does give you that pyro damage bonus, and you get some reaction bonus. So it's really nice when you have, you know, this full set. You're going to be seeing some big numbers. You're of course going to want to stack as much crit rate, crit damage as you possibly can, also with some HP substats as well, so that you can get that attack increase more. And then of course you want to try to sneak in some elemental mastery as well, because of course you do want as much elemental mastery and HP with the crit rate, crit damage as you possibly can get. You know, of course MiHoYo's not that forgiving when it comes to artifacts, but you're gonna be getting a bunch of value with those small little subsets that you add around, like 42 elemental mastery here, 40 there, 35 here, 72 there. It helps a lot. You're gonna be getting some big numbers because of those reactions that you're gonna be hitting. Now of course you're gonna want to run the standard DPS loadout, you know, the pyro damage bonus and the crit rate, crit damage circlet, you know, whatever you need from your artifacts more. But the sands is gonna be HP, so that sands is going to be something that you're going to be changing. It's not going to be the normal attack. You're going to be using HP sands. And try to fit as much, like I said, crit rate, crit damage as you possibly can with some elemental mastery and some HP percent artifacts, because I don't have a lot of HP percent on any of these actually, so that's probably what hurts me the most. But I do have a lot of elemental mastery, so it kind of balances out. So you do want to have a good amount of, you know, substats that you need. So elemental mastery, crit rate, crit damage, and HP percent really helps out Hu Tao by a great margin. So if you can sneak any of those in, it's absolutely amazing. This is the main set you want to be going for. There are some people that run Shimanawa set for Hu Tao, and the Shimanawa set works like this. When you use your skill, you lose ult damage, but you end up getting more normal and charge attack damage by 50%. So it does help her out. It is part of her kit technically, so it's really nice. So those are the two sets that you can use. Of course, Crimson Witch of Flames by far is probably her best artifacts if you're going to be running the teams that she's best in. Her Constellations, oh man, okay, so I do have a video on her Constellations, well, one specifically, which is her C1. Her C1 has amazing value, probably the best value you can possibly get for Hu Tao. It stops you from using stamina when you use your charge attack. So instead of, you know, having your stamina drain like this when you're doing charge attacks, when you're in her E, it drains none and actually, you know, goes up because you're not using any stamina. So it helps a lot when you're, you know, trying to DPS an enemy. You won't have to worry about charge attacks stopping because there won't be any stamina consumption. So this is one of her best talents. If you want a more in-depth video, you can look at a video that I have somewhere in the corner. And I've made a video talking about her Constellation 1 more in depth and how useful it can be. Stuff like C2, C4, and C6. C6 just doesn't let her die basically. She gets a fat amount of crit rate. She literally gets impossible not to crit type damage. And then her C4 gives crit rate to allies again. And then the C2 gives more damage based on her max HP for that little flower we talked about on her E. So other than that, that's pretty much it for Constellations. Her talents, as I said before, you want to level them up equivalently, normal attack and skill, and then get the ult up there when you can, but they're all absolutely amazing. Let's go on with her teams, because that's kind of the most important part about Hu Tao, because that's what makes Hu Tao Hu Tao. Her teams is going to be Pyro, Double Hydro, Shielder. And the reason why Double Hydro is so important when it comes to Hu Tao is because it does give increases max HP by 25%. So this is going to embrace her attack boost whenever she gets the chance to use her E. This is going to, of course, help her with reactions because, you know, Yelan and Xingqiu is her best team with the Shielder. And with Yelan and Xingqiu, you're getting almost unlimited Hydro application. Of course, you can change this up. You can add Mona instead of Xingqiu. You can try Kokomi if the boss is stationary. There are a lot of different types of units that you can use to fill in that double Hydro slot. If not, you can take out one of the characters that are Hydro, add in Albedo, add in, I heard Young Jin is really good with Hu Tao. I've never tried it before. That sounds very interesting. But yeah, you're going to want to run double Hydro as, you know, if you can, and then the Shielder, because the Shielder is going to be important because you're going to be running low health most of the time because you're going to keep popping the skill. And look at that, you're going to be 5,000, 3,000, stuff like that. you're gonna end up, you know, going down in that HP. Even if the enemies don't hit you, your own skill will hit you. So you're gonna want to run a shielder for sure, because you don't want to mess yourself up. Of course, you do have your ult to help you heal back up, but you just don't want to take the risk of your main DPS dying. And then other than that, yeah, this is pretty much your best team. Double Hydro with a shielder and pyro, because of how much Vaporize does for Hu Tao. That's basically the hard part of her DPS, or the big portion of her DPS is the Vaporize reactions. And Yelan and Xingqiu, especially Xingqiu, since he is going to be on the banner with Hu Tao, is going to be an absolute amazing pickup to have when it comes to Hu Tao's team. And you can also pick him up from the Leeway Lantern Rain event that's on right now. So yeah, you're going to want to run Hu Tao with 2 Hydros and a shielder. If not, you can try to mix and match with Yunjin, having 2 Geos, or having maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of different combinations you can have, as long as you have the Hydro application there, because she does really need it. Either Yelan, either Xingqiu, either Kokomi if the enemy is stationary. There's a lot of different options or ways you can get Hydro to get applied to an enemy, and you're gonna make sure, you have to make sure one of them is with, you know, Hu Tao on the team, because that's the main portion of her DPS. So other than that, that's pretty much it for Hu Tao. There's not really a lot to talk about. She's a very simple, easy character, but there is one last quick tip that I can show you that will help you with your stamina consumption when it comes to playing with her. As you may know, like I said, she has a long animation if you let it play out, and it also takes a lot of stamina, because if you want to shorten this animation, so you don't want to go through the whole thing, you're going to want to do charge attack and then sprint. It stops you from having to go through the full animation. Sometimes you can miss it. Or you can do charge attack and then jump. This helps you get that charge attack animation in, but you save that stamina from what's it called, sprinting, and helps you get a little bit more in. And like I said, C1 it's kind of busted because you can just dash cancel and it won't really that matter, or you can just regularly charge and, you know, stamina will go up. So yeah, if you want to save some stamina, try to learn the jump cancel like this. You're gonna charge attack and jump as soon as she like pulls back to lunge. You're gonna do that, and then it's gonna save you a lot of stamina. It's gonna save you the consumption that you possibly would have had if you tried to sprint out of it. So other than that, that's pretty much it for Hu Tao. Hopefully y'all who pull for Hu Tao, you get lucky. Hopefully y'all get your Homas, your Hu Taos, your C1s, all that type of stuff. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See y'all in the next one, and peace.